I am Rafa Benitez. You are watching the Redmen TV.
Hello, that's the Redmen TV. It's time for your daily Liverpool news update. It's Thursday. Tonight, Liverpool taking on Man United in the Europa League, and we won't be talking about that at all. Hey, there's plenty of content already on the YouTube channel about that. Go and check it out. 3 stories I'm going to discuss today. One is about Rafa Benitez. The second is about Timo Horn, and the third is about Emile Heskey. Let's do them in... Well, first and foremost, Emile Heskey joined the club 16 years ago. It probably wasn't. 16 years ago today, yes. I wrote it down. Amazing. Yeah, it's funny how he's one of those players that gets kind of like, as you become a bit of a joke player, gets maligned and what have you. But, you know, for me personally, I loved Emile Heskey at Liverpool when he was at the peak of his powers. And what's interesting is we're actually going back to play a new series on Retro Football TV. We're going back to Championship Manager 01-02. And we're going to fix all of Liverpool's problems, basically, and guide us to that 19th league title, hopefully, and once again onto the 5th European Cup. Emile Heskey's in that team. How will he fare for us? Find out by watching the show. It should be up either this weekend or very early next week. Second story, Rafa Benitez to Newcastle. Now, obviously, this isn't specifically Liverpool news, but it's one I want to discuss nevertheless. Heavily linked with the Newcastle job. Apparently, there's not been a formal offer made because, of course, Steve McLaren is still in the position of manager at Newcastle. But it looks like through informal channels, the feelers have been put out to Benitez, and Rafa, no, please. You know, and the thing is, when Rafa joined Chelsea, I was devastated. Because look, there's a lot of antipathy towards Rafa Benitez from some people, and I think weirdly and wrongly, to be fair, for a guy who delivered the European Cup for Liverpool, which should never, ever, ever be underestimated. But when he was at Chelsea, I felt sick because he was such a good manager, and to have him at a real rival was a concern. I don't want to have to come up against him, and that was particularly when we had obviously Brendan Rodgers in charge. But I'm less concerned now that we've got Jurgen Klopp. I'm more worried for Rafa because I like Rafa. Met him, sound guy, criticised our audio like everyone else. Prize was fixing it this season. I don't want him to go to another club that could damage his reputation, and Newcastle's a poison chalice for me. You know, it's another one of those clubs where, like Liverpool, like Real Madrid, you know, and to be fair, like Inter Milan, possibly still now, but definitely at the time that he was there, very, very difficult set of working circumstances, and that comes from the owners all the way down to the fans as well, or the other way around, depending on your perspective. And I just, if you get, he's got a hard fight on his hands to keep them up. He probably could because he's a great manager, but then, do Newcastle match his ambitions? Is he one of those guys who would play the brand of football that Geordies want to see? I don't know. I want to see Rafa get the respect he deserves at a club that appreciates him and who he is and gives him the money he needs to be a success. I don't feel that's Newcastle. But let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Last story is the Builder, the German newspaper, reporting that the Liverpool are for Timo Horn. Goalkeeper, obviously, apparently he's got a release clause of around £7 million. I'm interested to know people's thoughts on this. Now, we actually did a special show. We did the Transfer War Chest show. I've actually got my notes here, so bear with me a moment. We did the Transfer War Chest show, and I've lost the page with all the goalkeepers on. So, there we go. Timo Horn. So, so we basically went through a list of 5 goalkeepers who we felt that Liverpool would be in a position to target in the summer to improve that position. Timo Horn was one of them. 22 plays for Cologne, or FC Cologne, if you will. He's a German under-21 keeper alongside Loris Karius as well. So look, he's there. He's ready to make the step up. Chris picked him. Chris thought he was the goalkeeper who should be targeting. I picked someone else. I picked Marc-Andre ter Stegen. I would strongly advise people go over and watch that show. It should be up today. It's being edited at the minute. It'll be up this afternoon, I guess. The first part where we work out how we get our transfer war chest together. Chris and Orby sold a bunch of players on Liverpool's books, built up a war chest, and then me and Chris decided how to spend it this week on the show. But Horn came up, and like I said, because if he's got a release clause of around £7 million, he is clearly a very, very good, very promising goalkeeper. He's still very young for a goalkeeper, but it's like 22. There's obviously age, there's room for improvement there. The question is, obviously, if you're watching at home, is that, or on the bus, or at work, you know, is that should we be looking at another young goalkeeper, or do we need someone a bit more seasoned? We need to buy someone who's ready-made, much like Arsenal going to get Petr Cech, much like United getting Edwin van der Sar in years gone by. Or, you know, is this the right kind of move? You know, he's a good goalkeeper. Everyone who plays Football Manager raves about him, so I wouldn't be upset to see us pick him up. I think he's probably better than Mignolet. But again, let us know your thoughts on that in the comments below. Is that the kind of guy we should be targeting? If not, who should we be targeting? And as I go check out the Transfer War Chest show this week, where we're discussing who we would buy at left back, centre, defensive mid, attacking mid, and forward as well. Very, very good show. It's like an hour and something long. It's genuinely immense. It's completely free for a month. TheRedmenTV.com. Thanks for watching today, and we'll see you soon. Ta-ra.
Are you going to bring Kolo Touré into this one? I'm not so sure. With Martial and Depay, those type of players, Rashford, if he'll play, you're looking at quick, pacey forwards. And I think that Lovren and Sakho should be able to deal with them.